Hello Geminis, I'm Christy, you're watching Tiny Turtle Tarot and this is your reading for the week ahead. As always, if anything I say resonates or you feel it will in the future, please let me know by liking and subscribing. Let's get on with your reading. What's happening for the beautiful Geminis this week? Firstly, you have the Empress flying out. Oh, then you have the Artist. Then you have the King of Wands. And, oh my goodness, Judgment. There's a lot of big stuff happening for you this week. So firstly, I'll talk you through these cards first and then clarify and get more out of them. The Empress though, you're very much glowing up in some way. Always, maybe. Emotionally, physically, intellectually. Everything's heightening, everything's blossoming or something for you. You're seeing progress in all areas, and it's because you're making progress in all areas. I feel as if it's also like you're easily making progress. You're not having to try. The Empress is very like natural, earthy, grounded. Things just happen and she goes like she or he, it's very much handling things and knowing that you can only control how you react. And there's a lot of growth that's happening from you in how you're reacting in all areas of your life to the best of your abilities. You're definitely making yourself and others proud this week in some way, which seems heavy, but I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're up to. The Artist card, very creative, obviously. A lot of you are very creative, but it's beyond that. There's something where you are creating a life for yourself. You could be very much scripting or really imagining the life you want to live, and you're creating like a blueprint or a map of what you want, because if you don't know what you want, you can't get it. And there's just something where you're planning also. You're drawing things up. King of Wands, very confident, very entertaining. You're very entertaining for people this week. You're very like funny and maybe even a little bit loud, but in a good way. Like people are very amused by you. You're very, I don't know what you're doing. This is so interesting. King of Wands can also be putting on a front sometimes and acting more confident than you really are. So there's that. There's maybe you're feeling a little bit, at some point this week, you're feeling a bit more shy and want to recluse, and you're doing the opposite. You're like, oh, I'm not gonna, it's almost like, I don't know why I'm getting that saying, get back on the horse, get back on the horse. So there could be something where you have been alone for a while, or like there's been a timeout or a shift in your life and you're like, nope, I need to get back out there. I need to quickly, like something can happen. You're like, nope, I don't want to hide away, I don't want to shy away, I need to jump straight back into the action and not get used to this. I don't know what that's about. Judgment is a decision obviously, or there's just a feeling of being called and figuring out what is the best judgment to have of a situation. Your higher self, what would your higher self do? Some of you, there's a big decision to make in your life that will change everything, but you also are making sure you're deciding that from a place of love and not fear. Because sometimes we are very called to like decide things quickly and things seem very obvious and make that decision, but is it fueled by fear? Is it fueled by fear of failure or fear of worst case scenarios? Or if everything turned out the exact way you wanted and you could predict it perfectly, would you go for something? Because it seems like there's an opportunity or there's a path in your life opening up that you are going to want to accept but might hesitate. King of Pentacles clarifying the Empress. Some of you, this is a person coming towards you. Man or woman, doesn't matter, but it's somebody that is very, very, they're very stable, they're very grounded, they're very reliable, they're very trustworthy. And with the Empress, you're letting them come to you. You're very much not chasing. You don't feel the need to pretend to be anyone you're not or glow up in any way. You're not trying to put on a front or act as anyone other than yourself. You're just being you, and it's naturally attracting this person in and drawing them more and more closer to you. Like it feels like they want to know more and more and more about you, and they want to get to know you more and more and more, and you're like, this might be the first time, or it might be you remembering this side of yourself where you go, oh, I don't actually have to try very hard at all to be liked. I just am likable. I don't need to put on, whether it be makeup, whether it be, some of you might have like a persona, or like with that King of Wands, like this entertaining side of yourself where you're very big and bold and funny, and you're not this way around this person. You're just chill. You're just you, and I just feel like they're very much just them, and so they can see themselves in you, and it's very much drawing each other in. Clarify the Artist card. You have the Three of Swords with the Artist. I feel like Three of Swords is pain and heartbreak and loss and fear. So with the Artist card, it's almost like you're using past pains, hurts, heartbreaks to create something, whether that be creatively or whether that be the life you want to live. You may now know exactly what you don't want, and so that means you now know exactly what you do want. Also, creating something, I feel like there is some pain that is fueling a passion of yours. Music, art, whatever it may be, you're using it as fuel in some way. Clarify the King of Wands. You have Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is very independent energy. Some of you, you're very much seen in a very nice light by people. And I don't know if you know that. Like, you're on a lot more of a higher pedestal, in one person in particular even, its mind, than you realise. You don't see yourself, you see yourself in a very grounded, you see all the parts of yourself, right? All the good, the bad, the in-between. But there's someone that has you on a pedestal or something with that Nine of Pentacles. You're seen in a very high regard. And I think if they told you this, you either wouldn't believe them, you'd think they were making a joke. King of Wands, it's just, I feel like this is again someone else. It's someone looking at you going, Gemini's got something. Gemini's got something going for them. Something about that Gemini. I don't know what it is, but I want to know more. You're very much, like, it's just your energy. Obviously you look great too, don't get me wrong, but more than anything it's your energy. What's that saying? And it's like your energy introduces you before you even speak. And I feel like that's you. You're such a high vibrational soul. I think people in general are drawn to you, especially this week. Clarify the Judgment card. You have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is daydreaming. Seven of Cups can sometimes be like delusion or illusions. Some of you are struggling to see yourself for who you are, or someone else. There's something about you questioning either who you are or who someone else is, because I'm just looking at this mask. I feel like it's someone else. You're looking at someone else and going, who are you really? Because they have lots of different sides to themselves, but you kind of are like, when no one else is watching, who are you? And what do you feel about this subject? And what is your opinion on this? Without everyone else's judgments, without everyone else's opinions, without this whole room full of people cheering you on. Because I feel like there's someone quite popular that you're around and you're like, what do you actually think about that? Between us, how do you actually feel about this subject? Because I just feel like you know someone is playing a pretend or playing a role, and you're now, like with the Judgment card, you're trying to decide how you feel about someone, but you're realizing, of course you can't tell who they really are, because they're playing this role, they're playing this character of like, I just feel like there's a lot of attention on someone, where so they have to be careful with what they're saying, or they say things and it's very watered down, and you're like, I want to know what you actually think about that. Like, this person could be very diplomatic, which is great, but you're like, yeah, but what do you actually want? How do you actually feel? I don't know. You see through someone's mask. You see through it. You may not see exactly who they are, but you know there's a mask. I think you actually can see who they are though. I think you see through the mask straight away. But the judgment is just more like, then deciding how you feel about who they are. This could be like a new friend, this could be a new lover, I'm not sure, but there's someone you're trying to figure out or make a judgment call on. I'm gonna wrap your reading up here. Thank you so much for watching. If anything I said resonated or you feel it will in the future, please let me know by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next Tuesday for Tiny Little Tarot Tuesdays.